Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Subscribe1, and today I want to talk about the ship cost reductions that we got in version 10.0. Now, 10.0 was a little bit ago, probably around a week ago or something like that, but a lot of people don't know the ship cost reductions because in the patch notes they didn't specifically say which ships or which pieces were getting cost reductions. It was just like ships are getting cost attunements, and some ships have been reduced by up to 50%. And there's this chart right here that pretty much shows all of them. So for this video, I'm going to go through all of that. I'm going to go, through the different building like pieces and stuff like that for all the different ships. And then I'm going to show you guys me putting together a ship, specifically a schooner in game, or showing you guys kind of the base if you've never built a ship. Because surprisingly, especially if you're in bigger companies, a lot of people haven't ever built the pieces for ships because they're not spec'd into it and never actually put together a ship with the pieces. So first we're going to look at the cost reductions. Now this was, so post patch is version 10.0, pre-patch is before that. So the galleon was not changed at all. So what this is showing is, this is the base. So if you go to a shipyard, the first thing you build is inside a shipyard, and that's basically the base frame, no planks in it, nothing in it, just the base frame on a shipyard. That's what these top costs are. So the galleon was not changed at all. It's a complete same. Brig was actually increased quite a bit. So fibers went from 1080 to 1512. Metal was 160 to 224. Thatch was 2160 to 3024, and wood was 1400 to 1960. So pretty big increase to the base of the brig. Then schooner actually got a massive decrease, and I'm pretty sure this is the biggest change. I think this is one that was up to 50%, I guess. So schooner was 1080 fiber to 332. Metal was 160 to 42. Thatch was 2160 to 540, and wood was 1400 to 390. So that's a massive decrease in specifically just the base of the ship for the schooner. Sloop got slight reductions, 120 to 110. Fiber, metal was 12 to 8. Thatch was 220 to 180, and wood was 140 to 120. Now this doesn't have rafts in it or dinghies. Those aren't really ships. They're kind of just tools to get somewhere when you're new. So then we're going to large planks. Now these are also, this shows, so next up is the large planks. Now planks, if you haven't built a ship, are basically what the ship, like the complete bottom, is built out of, including all the way up to the top of the deck. The edges of the ship, if you're on one, that's actually planks. Or gun ports, because gun ports are used in certain spots instead of planks if you want gun ports. So large planks were not changed at all. Large planks are only for galleons. Medium planks were reduced by a bit. That's 480 fiber to 408 fiber. Metal was not changed. Thatch was 420 to 360, and then wood was 480 to 432. Now brigs and schooners use medium planks. So schooners got more reduction. Schooners got basically reduced in everything of the base ship parts. Brig did get an increase in their base hull, but their planks did get reduced. Then small planks also got reduced. Now that's for sloops. Fiber went from 80 to 50, metal was unchanged at 0, thatch 70 to 60, and wood 80 to 65. So basically across all of this, it seems that they were reducing the lower ships to make them cheaper, and then keeping the higher tier ships at the same price or slightly reducing. Even though I'm pretty sure the brig got overall a reduction just because of how much the planks are, and the planks, you need a lot of planks. So specifically for the brig, you need, where are the planks? You need 28 planks total for the brig. I think that's for everything, or at least the schooner. I'm pretty sure it's the same for the schooner. Where are the planks? Yeah, it's still 28 for the schooner as well. So there's a lot more overall cost in the planks. So the plank reduction is a much bigger reduction than the base cost increase of the brig. So then we have large gun ports, which were completely unchanged as well. That's something you'll see with the galleon. The galleon was not really changed whatsoever. Medium gun ports were reduced as well, 480 fiber to 408, the same amount of metal, 64, 420 thatch to 360, 420 to 360 thatch, then wood 520 to 432. Now that's the same exact cost reductions as the medium planks. Basically across everything, the only differences from medium gun ports to medium planks is the gun ports cost slightly more metal, but everything else costs the same. So that's just why the medium gun ports for the schooner and the brig were reduced the same as the planks. Then gun ports, there are no gun ports for sloops, so there's no small gun ports. Then large decks. And the decks are basically what make up basically the floors of the ships. So say if you're on a schooner, it has 2 floors. It has what you can build under, and you can put a deck on that. Then the very top deck, which is what you stand on when you're sailing and everything. So different ships take different amounts. Like a schooner takes 2. A brig is 3, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 3, and the galleon is 5, 6. Galleons are ridiculously big. It's kind of, galleons are honestly way too big for most companies. But so no reductions at all in large. Medium decks were reduced to from 110 fiber to 94. Metal is 00. Thatch 200 to 176, and wood 280 to 246. And that's the same for the schooner. So schooner got a reduction all across the board. Brig got a reduction to everything except its base. Its base got increased, but overall, that is still a reduction for a brig. Sloops got reduced all across the board as well. Their small decks only got thatch and wood reductions, 120 thatch to 105, and 80 wood to 70 wood. So everything got reduced. Galleons stayed exactly the same. Brigs overall got reduced, but their base... I don't know, I guess their base skeleton got slightly increased, but still overall reduction. Now they were doing this basically because ships were just they took too long to get, especially how easy you can sink them. Still now, especially how many times like ships will get sunk. You can't get super attached to any ships really because a lot of them are going to get sunk doing something, hitting stone pillars in the water, whatever. So I'm just going to go over some of the stuff. So sloops, I'm not really going to go over much with these. They're super basic. They're usually used just as a cheaper ship. You can even get the ramshackle sloops at the Freeport vendors now, which are just reduced sloops. But it does show the overall cost. I'm not going to go over a ton on these wiki pages, but it shows the overall cost for a lot of these. So I'm going to go with the schooner because the schooner is... pretty much every company is going to have schooners, no matter how big you are. If you're a super small company, maybe schooners are the biggest ships you have. And schooners are still good. If you build schooners some specific type of ways to fight bigger ships, you can fight bigger ships pretty effectively and do a good amount of damage to them. Now, something like a galleon, it would take you way too long to do that much damage because galleons just kind of bump up extremely compared to even a brig, like the amount of HP it has, the amount of upkeep you need. Galleons are kind of in a league of their own compared to everything else. Everything else is kind of linear. A sloop, a schooner, or a brig kind of linearly go up in like their HP, up in their resource cost. Then a galleon is just way above everything. But I'm going to be showing you guys building a schooner, and I'm going to show you guys some specific stuff in here. So it has basically the overall price here. And as you go to the bottom, this one has this. So this one shows the before update and after. So after all the prices, now this is the entire ship, all of its planks using gun ports in the, what is it, 10 gun port spots? Yeah, so there's 10 gun ports you can possibly have on it. So using the 10 gun ports and 2 medium sails, which you can use different sails. So usually the ones I use one large and one small. But this is the overall cost with all of that. But that also doesn't include all the ceilings, walls, however you want to customize the deck. It doesn't include cannons and stuff like that. So this is just basically the base, and then you'd customize it however else you want with, buildings and its storage. All that type of stuff is not included with it. this is basically the complete base. You could sail it like this, but you wouldn't have any storage, you wouldn't have any other stuff. So this is with the 2 medium sails, the gun ports. So it's 13,622 fiber, 160 hide, 860 metal, 12,910 thatch, and 15,270 wood. So that's the complete base of the ship with no customization on it, basically. So it's all the planks. You can drop it. You could sail it like this, because I'm pretty sure this price does include the steering wheel, which you need. So you could sail it like this. You just have no storage. You have no cannons, anything like that. And that's pretty much all I'm going to show for this. So the second half of the video, I'm going to show you guys me putting together a schooner. Not fully putting together a schooner, unless you guys want a separate video of me like sped up putting together my entire schooner. But basically I'm just going to show you guys how you kind of put it together. So I will cut to me being in game. Okay, so now we are going to be in game, and I'm going to show you guys the basics of making a ship, specifically a schooner. So as you can see here, there's already the frame put down, and how you do the frame is you'd make a small shipyard right here, and you'd have to place it down wherever you can place it. It's usually on the shore. The end of it going that way usually has to be in some type of deep water. And basically, you can't see it because I don't know how to make the ships as a skill. But in the shipyard itself, you'd be able to make the base of the schooner. The large shipyard is for the brig and the galley, and then below that, in the small shipyard, it'd be the schooner and the sloop. Then there's like these small, tiny dock shipyards is for a raft. So you'd be able to make it in here. You have to put the resources in here, and then you'd make it here, and it would make this skeleton, basically. And then you're going to need your other stuff. So I basically have an entire boat in this box. I would definitely recommend doing this, especially if you're not super protected in your area or around your base, because you can just build it all at once, get all your cannons on it, and get it as a full ship. And get an actual full ship that you can move around, that you can fight with. So you're not putting half parts on it, going farming more and stuff like that, because people can come destroy the planks on it if it's just sitting there. Even though they can do that when it's in the water, at least you can move it around in the water. So basically, I'm using all planks. I'm not using any gun ports. So I have 28 planks here, and I'll show you guys how you just place them on. So basically, it's just going to snap into all the different sections. As you can see, the back section is like really big, and you just snap it all in. And if you fall in, it's not too big of a deal, because I'll show you in a second. Let's get the back ones on. So if you fall in, it's not too big of a deal, because you can actually jump up the back. If it stops stuttering, you can jump up the back. You can just walk up this back piece. So if you get stuck in it, if you fall in when you have everything in, it's not too big of a deal. You can just walk up the back until you start building more on it. And these parts right here, so this one all the way, so this one, this plank right here can be a gun port, and then 4 more. So we're going to have 5 gun ports on this top at both sides if you want to do gun ports. So that'd be, those can be gun ports. Those can be gun ports all the way up to the front right there. All those can be gun ports, so 5 on each side. And if you're going gun ports instead of planks, as we talked about before, basically the only thing that's different is gun ports take more metal. If I can actually get up this land right here. Gun ports take a lot more metal than normal planks, and I can't get up this because this game still doesn't know how to make meshes. Well, I guess I'm swimming back around the side. And all this like wood stuff that's on below, this thing I'm walking on this ladder, this all goes away when you actually drop the ship. So that's just kind of building to help you build it more. And so you basically just place in all of these planks, and that's the basics of the ship. If you place all these planks in, you can drop it and it won't sink or anything. So you could drop it after you put all these planks in. You definitely would not want to, because you don't have a steering wheel, you don't have any sails, so you can't move it. But you could drop it if you accidentally drop it, which happens a lot because of how the dropping works. If you have all the planks in, it's not going to sink. If you don't and you drop it, I don't think it sinks right away, but if you have it like this, you could drop it and it's not going to sink. So now you're going to do the decks. I'm just going to show you guys the absolute basics. So now you place in the decks, and as you can see, there's that deck, and then there's that. There's only 2 snaps. There's no variations. So this is the bottom deck, and it's completely filled. So you're going to place that in. Now it's completely filled. You can't get below this, but it is completely filled. And then the next deck is just basically an outline where you place wood ceilings into, and you just place it, and then you can place wood ceilings into this, and then that's how you customize it more. So we're going to place some wood ceilings in because I have a pretty good idea of what I'm going to do, because I did have a ship that I like the build I'm doing. I'm going to do a slight variation of it, but I don't even remember if I had a front entrance. I think I did. It might have been that. I think I did have that. One of these is the front, so we'll just keep that one open. And so I'm going to place those in. Then I'll show you guys the sails, because I'm not going to fully do this. I'm going to record me fully building this ship. You know, mistakes and what else. I have a bunch of extra walls and ceilings and stuff, because, and roof pieces, which you basically use as ramps and stairs, because people do mess up a lot. You're customizing it, so you're going to have to destroy walls and stuff all the time. So make sure you have some extras if you're trying to build it all at once. Basically, the sails here, I have one big and one medium. So as you can see, you can just place it. You don't even need to place these on ceilings right away. I'd recommend placing it on ceilings. But as you can see, you have sail units here out of 4. So you can do 1 large, 1 small. You can do 2 mediums as well. You wouldn't want to do like 2 smalls. But that's basically how you place it. It snaps. It's all in the middle. So the small one snaps in the middle as well. You can basically place them anywhere. I usually place one at the back, one at the front. I usually place a big one at the back, the small one at the front. It just kind of looks more aesthetically pleasing. But you would place those sails like that. I'm not gonna do it because I'm gonna be customizing stuff. But you would place that, and then you're basically done. Besides everything else that's customization. So a wheel, you can place the wheel basically on everything. It doesn't snap to anything. You can place it however you want it. You can't place it on there. You have to place it on this top deck. But you can build on top of here. You could build a building on here and place on that. You can place on anything up here, and that's how you steer. I don't have a lieutenant podium. A lieutenant podium you can basically place, and a lieutenant podium you can have somebody else, another player, be able to control sails, be able to control your NPCs on cannons, all that type of stuff, so they can control other stuff if you want to have someone else doing that, if you're not the best captain or you're learning. So that's pretty much it for the basics. Past that, it's all customization basically. You can build your ship however you want. You can place, you know, you definitely want a resource box, which is where if you have a resource box in your ship and you have resources in it and a repair hammer, you just repair anything in the ship and it'll take it out of that box. NPCs will take the gold out of that box to get paid if you have the gold in there. Your ammo box for at least a schooner and a brig, 1 ammo box is big enough to cover the whole thing, so you don't have to have ammo on you if you're on turrets or cannons, whatever. You just reload through the ammo box. You don't have to carry it on you. Then you have your food larder, which when you place in here, that's where your NPCs eat from, so you don't have to put food in their inventory. And you just put it all in these central things. You usually want those on the bottom deck, usually decently protected. And that's pretty much it. You know, I'm going to have mortars. I'm going to have a smithy. I don't actually have a smithy in here. You know, storage boxes, all that stuff, all that is customization. So that's basically the basics of building the ship as well. So subscribe if you want to see more Atlas content. Leave a like if you like the video. Leave a comment down below what you think about these ship reductions, what you think about shipbuilding as a whole in Atlas, what you think about Atlas as a whole. And thanks for watching. Also, let me know if you guys want to see a full video of me building this entire schooner. What the hell was that? Because I'm going to be building this entire schooner. I can do, you know, a fast forward version, just a full version if you guys want to see that.